Good afternoon. I'm gonna start. How you guys doing? Good. Good. And keep the wheels rolling. Next up, we'll have Fleet Management. State your name for the record and please proceed.
My name is Chris Cochi. Good afternoon, Council President Clark and distinguished members of City Council. I'm Chris Cochi, Fleet Manager for the City of Philadelphia. Joining me today are Mr. Joseph Rosati, Deputy Fleet Manager for Operations, and Dr. Kay Wilson, Deputy Fleet Manager for Administration. Thank you for the opportunity to present testimony in support of the FY19 operating budget request for the Office of Fleet Management. The Office of Fleet Management's FY19 General Fund budget request is $63.85 million, which includes $14.8 million for the purchase of new vehicles and equipment. FY19 operating budget requests include $18.53 million in Class 100, $5.1 million in Class 200, and $40.22 million in Classes 3 and 400. FY19 General Fund budget request is $1.06 million less than FY estimated obligations. Class 100 funding has increased by $546,000. This increase is a combination of funding requirements for 5 new positions, District Council 33 employee salary increases, increases in increment and longevity payments, and reduction of overtime expenditures. Class 200 funding has decreased by $4.5 million due to the elimination of a vehicle purchase lease payment. Class 300 funding has decreased by $354,000 due to reduction in vehicle parts purchases, and Class 400 funding has increased by $3.2 million for new vehicle purchases. OFM's 5-year plan includes an optimal vehicle replacement strategy and an on-time scheduled preventive maintenance program for vehicles and equipment. This strategy will enable OFM to support the city's operating departments with more reliable and economically feasible vehicles and equipment to support their operations. This concludes my testimony, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your testimony. A couple of questions. In the first page of your testimony, you highlight the purchasing of alternative fuel vehicles at a cost of approximately $1.8 million. And you know there's been this conversation, particularly around PGW and our ability to enhance our own operation. So how do you determine the cost benefit of CNG and electric vehicles versus standard fuel? Is there an analysis that you do when you make that decision?
Yeah, we do cost benefit analysis. We've done it, and really our strategy is more of an environmental strategy than the cost strategy. Primarily, we want to see if it's not cost effective, but if it has, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, but the strategy is that it's cost neutral. That's the word I'm looking for. We have some grants that are going to pay for the compressed natural gas vehicles. We have a $2 million CMAQ grant, and we actually started the process by purchasing 2 vehicles, and we're going to apply for a state grant to pay for the incremental cost.
And that's on the CNG?
That's on the CNG, that's correct.
All right, so that CNG comes from PGW, right?
Yes, sir.
Owned by the City of Philadelphia.
Yep. Our intent actually is to use renewable natural gas as well. Like I said, we look at it as more of an environmental strategy than a cost-cutting strategy for compressed natural gas.
Okay. Talk to me about the availability of vehicles, and I'm assuming based on usage and type of usage will determine whether or not you make that call to vehicles down, vehicles up, vehicles in need of repair. Just kind of walk me through the challenges associated with the availability of vehicles, and like with respect to department and with respect to usage, if you can.
Well, we have service level agreements with every department. And then there's preventive maintenance schedules that we have to keep on schedule. Our strategy is to try to meet all the department service level agreements while continuing to do preventive maintenance on all the vehicles.
Okay. So police vehicles, fire vehicles, I'm assuming,
Police vehicles, we try to achieve a 90% availability rate.
really? Okay.
Yes. We also have service level agreements with most other departments. Police department, that's a 90% availability rate as well.
Okay. In terms of the life, in terms of mileage, is there a floor that we want to maintain before we need to replace vehicles, particularly police and fire? Well, I guess police more so
Yeah.
than anything else because they're being used constantly by multiple shifts.
Yeah, that's part of our optimal vehicle replacement strategy. We've found through our own records and mostly our institutional knowledge that a police car's usable lifespan is about 5 years. So our replacement
years.
strategy is to replace every police vehicle in 5 years. So we have 750 marked police vehicles on the street, and we purchase 150 vehicles a year. That is what we determined the optimal replacement cycle for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have that as well for every other class of vehicle as well.
Mm-hmm. So you talk about in your budget detail, section 23, you have a projected decrease of $454,000 in overtime. What changes are you making in your department to decrease that overtime usage? I mean, I love it, but I'd like to know how you're doing it because maybe some of the other departments need to be in a position to decrease some of their overtime costs.
It's been a combination of things. We've been able to fill some of our technical spots for our technicians. Also, increase preventive maintenance scheduling. So the preventive maintenance actually prevents more costly, more time-consuming breakdowns. So we're doing on-time preventive maintenance as opposed to heart attack repairs.
Okay. So when I get that PM notice, I need to pay attention to it and keep you guys from calling me 3 or 4 times and say, bring that vehicle in and get it. All right.
That's exactly why we send them out.
I'll be more cognizant of that. All right. Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Dom.
Thank you, Council President. Good afternoon. Did you say we replace, is it 700 or 750 vehicles a year?
No, it depends on our budget, but this year we're scheduled to replace 350 with our
350.
operating fund and roughly 75 with our capital purchases.
And how many vehicles does the city have in total?
6,000 that we manage, 6,000 active.
So what do you think the average life is? You can do the math, but it looks like it's, 17, 18 years?
It varies from class for the different classes of vehicles. Like a radio patrol car is a 5-year lifespan. Medic units are 7 years. Pumper ladder for fire department, we try to go for a 15-year with a 10-year frontline lifespan.
But if the city has 6,000 vehicles, and right now we're replacing 350 and maybe an additional 75, is what you're saying? Which is 4 1/4. Just doing the math, that's like 15 years, an average life expectancy. Is that realistic?
For different classes of vehicles. At the present time, as I stated earlier, the fire apparatus have a longer life cycle. Refuse vehicles have approximately 10-year life cycle, and so on.
Okay. And we have, the department has, I think, in the information you provided, 267 employees in the Fleet Management Services Program?
That is in general fund, correct?
And so, but we do contract out over $3 million for repair and maintenance charges. Is there any way we can teach our employees to repair these vehicles in-house to save that money? Is it possible?
We do those repairs in-house. We just don't have enough people to do many of the, for example, body work. We have a large portion of our body work is contracted out. There's some technical repairs like engine repair for trucks, transmission repair for trucks. We're just simply not set up to do those repairs. And it's really not cost effective to do it in-house. We've actually done that before, and it doesn't really make any sense.
And when we replace vehicles, what do we do with the old vehicles?
Sell them at auction.
And last question, it's pretty easy. Your department's responsible for tracking the fuel usage for vehicles belonging to PHA, PPA, and the school district?
Correct.
Does the city get reimbursed for their fuel usage?
We do.
That's good. Okay, I have no further questions. Thank you, Council President. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. So you're extremely fortunate today, sir.
I see that.
So you probably want to get out of here before folks
I'm a little disappointed, but I think I'll get over it.
before folks start coming downstairs. We don't have any additional questions for you. I want to thank you. Thank you for your
Thanks.
testimony today, and thank you for your continued good work and keeping the fleet moving. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you about the CNG. That's real important to make sure that we show people that the customer base as it relates to PGW, we're showing by example that there is an opportunity to get clean fuel vehicles, and want to appreciate you for setting that example as it relates to the city of Philadelphia. I'm talking, so I'm hoping no, I'm just kidding. Let me let you out. Let me let you out of here. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.